First, Guillermo Rambo found an icon in the watchOS beta. Then he found an image. Now, Apple Premium Reseller Accessory Merchandising Guidelines, and another image. We could be about to see the second coming of the smart battery case, but a modern smart battery case for the iPhone X series, and it could be coming soon. I'm Rene Ritchie. Welcome back to Vector. It's so great to see you all again. Let's preview this. The smart battery case is one of my favorite Apple products of the last few years. Apple released it late, December late, and utterly failed to provide any messaging or context or marketing around it. As a result, most reviewers took one lazy look at the hump and ran a few feeble price per milliamp hour calculations, and then not only dissed and dismissed it across the internet, but used it as a springboard for all sorts of Apple has lost its design smile hottest of hot takes. Yeah, the same people who constantly complained about Apple putting form over function took one look at a product that decidedly didn't and completely lost it. At least until the next CES, when almost all of them were using it. And I get it. That was one hella ugly hump, and understanding the difference between raw power and power efficiency is, like work. It took me a bunch of conversations with Apple and with some very kind, very patient, very knowledgeable radio and battery nerds, way smarter than me, before I understood just what was going on inside that brilliantly fugly little hump case. And here's the gist. Everyone wants more power. Instagram, Pokemon Go, computational photography, augmented reality, everything that lights up the screen, the radios, the location services, they all demand more. And when you're out all day or you're traveling, you really need more, lots more. Now, a vendor can double the size of the battery inside. That's the easy answer. But batteries aren't RF transparent, which complicates radio engineering. They're insulators, which complicates thermal chipset architecture. And they're heavy, which can make the phone harder to hold up for extended periods of time. And when you can't watch all the videos, read all the articles, or play all the games you want to for as long as you want to, you start to wonder exactly which jerk came up with the whole doubling the battery size bit anyway. The better answer is to keep the phone itself light and stripped down, and essential, the Syracusean ideal naked robotic core, then slap an extra battery or extra anything else on when and as you need it. But previous battery cases were a mixed blessing at best and problematic at worst. They often covered up the antennas, reducing reception, forcing radios into overdrive just to keep a signal, and burning a ton of power just as they were supposed to be adding extra charge. They were also treated by the operating system as the equivalent of outlets, so the phone would go from power-saving mobile mode to power-hungry all-plugged-in mode, opening up all the updating, syncing, and downloading willy-nilly without a race-to-sleep care in the world, and again burning a ton more power when it should have been building up charge. Oh yeah, the dirtiest of drain secrets, the bitterest of battery ironies. And exactly the problem the smart battery case was designed to fix. Instead of covering up the radios with non-RF transparent battery, Apple cut it away on the sides. Yeah, leaving the stuff of Dieter Ram's worst design is how it works nightmares, a hump the likes of which you could never not see again, but also something that not only didn't interfere with reception, but actually included a passive antenna array to boost reception. That way, rather than start screaming for signals, the radios could keep their chill and your phone could really get its charge on. Also, iOS could understand the difference between the case and the plug, so the phone could stay in mobile mode. That way, none of the more power-intensive and expensive processes would spin up. All the chips could still race to sleep, and the charging could be as fast and as efficient as possible. The case would also manage that charging for both itself and your iPhone, minimizing the amount of charging cycles for the latter, so it could maintain the best battery health possible. It all added up to the smart battery case being the best way to add extra power to your iPhone. The hump was form over function, and milliamp efficiency was the real critical stat. Whenever I went out with iPhone 6s or iPhone 7, I had the smart battery case with me. It got me through travel and conferences and shows where there was often no time or place to plug in, and where lousy reception and roaming would otherwise shred my battery life. But as fantastic as that all was for me, and as much as I loved it, it's also important to point out that it wasn't perfect, at least not for everyone. Some people do want their phones to act like they're plugged in when they're using a battery case or battery pack. Others don't want the system managing when the phone charges and prefer an on-off switch so they can manage it themselves. And when the smart battery case for the iPhone X series sees the light of day, if it doesn't launch with inductive charging on the back because coils and batteries and heat and science and simplicity and whatever, I'm sure we'll have some people being super salty about that as well. And fair enough. But, I've been using iPhone X and iPhone XS for over a year now, and they've been battery champs, even under the grueling load of reviewing and writing about every new flaw and feature. They managed to last almost as long as my iPhone Plus of yore, but fit in my hand and pocket like the regular sized iPhone. And it's blissful. Adding a smart battery case to it, one I can slap on and strip off whenever and wherever I need to, will literally be the icing on the power cake. It'll go from tanky to full-on tanker. So much so, it continues to make me wish Apple would explore a range of smart iPhone accessories. Top of the list, a smart camera case with some serious optics to front all the serious computational power we have inside these things these days. Because there's nothing like machine learning bits packed up by overcharged atoms. If that interests you and you want to get involved but you're not sure where to start, if topics like algorithms and neural networks excite you but you don't know how to get into them, check out Brilliant. They have a bunch of courses teaching you the fundamentals of logic, machine learning, and more. Each course is interactive and breaks up complicated concepts into bite-sized chunks to make sure you actually absorb the information. So what are you waiting for? Go to brilliant.org/vector and start today. Thanks Brilliant, and thanks to all of you for supporting the show. So, when are we getting the smart battery case for the iPhone X series? Like anything involving Apple and power these days, I've learned to expect it only when I see it. Still, this is probably the Apple product I'd most love to see stuffed into stockings this holiday season. If not, it'll be one of the first things I buy in the new year. At least that's what I think. Now, I'd love to hear what you think. Hit like, hit subscribe, it really helps out the video and the channel. And then hit up the comments and let me know. And thank you so much for watching.